We hope you're all enjoying this conference. But some of you we know, even from some of the questions we received over lunch, are a bit curious about Hobart's Run and what we do. There is an information sheet in your packet that gives you lots of details. But we'd like to take just a few minutes before we start with the investment opportunities to highlight some of our top 10 activities and things that we are really proud of and very excited about. Everything that we do helps to fulfill our mission of creating a clean, safe, and inclusive community, providing incentives for home ownership and home improvements, and generating positive development. So you can follow our Facebook page where there's a lot of information and where we also, as I mentioned, the Women's Panel, are happy to share information about your businesses and things that you're doing to help drive that interest in Pottstown. So without further ado.
We're going to go through some of our top 10 activities, as Kathy said. So this year, on Sunday, April 28, a week from this Sunday, we'll hold 2 weeks. We'll hold the 3rd annual Ram Run. This event is open to the entire community, and the funds raised from this race through a modest entry fee and corporate sponsors will go back into our neighborhood for facade improvements, and that's a program that is officially launching. We've been doing it scattered site, but we're officially launching that this spring. So you can sign up for the race through our Facebook page or Press Hill City Sports. If you are a runner, you know that they do a lot of the races around here, so it will be timed. At this point, we have more medals than we do runners, so you're guaranteed a medal if you sign up right now. But it's a fun race. It's a pretty race. We start on campus here and go through the Hobart's Run neighborhood. We also welcome business sponsors.
Another thing we do, number 9 on our top 10 list, is we partner with East Coast Volleyball and the Hill School Squash team to provide free instructional fun clinics in those sports. In fact, if you want to learn a little bit about the game of squash or bring your kids, lace up your sneakers for squash tomorrow at 1 o'clock. You just have to show up here at the Hill School Athletic Facility, and we'll be running another clinic also on April 21st and April 28th. It's free, no experience is necessary at all, and all Pottstown families are welcome.
Number 8 is something that is called the Pottstown Area Social Innovations Lab. This is funded in part by the Health and Wellness Foundation. Big thank you to them. This project brings together youth from Pottstown High School and the Hill School who gather several afternoons a week, depending on the cohort and when everyone can meet, to brainstorm about solving community issues. So it's the first time that we've had Pottstown High School kids and Hill School kids sitting together in one room, working collectively on a project that benefits Pottstown, and it's been very interesting and I think challenging in a way, but very good experience for the kids. So the pilot, the Social Innovations Lab ends with the Shark Tank presentations, and the ones from our fall cohort generated interest from Pottstown Borough Council, Montgomery County Community College, Pottstown Rotary. State Rep Joe Cerisi was here and met with the cohort, and it led to an e-commerce project focused on promoting downtown businesses. And then one of the projects from the spring cohort is that we're working with Borough Council President Dan Wien to gather community data through a transportation survey. So that's been a fun and inspirational thing that we've been working on recently.
Number 7 on our list, we're calling it informally the Win-Win-Win Walk to Work Rental Program. Hobart's Run has been renovating 2 distressed properties, one on Walnut Street and the other on Edgewood, through volunteer labor drawn largely from Hill students, faculty, and staff. Girls basketball players from St. Al's School helped us out, and just other community volunteers as well as professional contractors. These 2 homes, and maybe more, will soon be rented with preference given to those who want to walk to work in the Hobart's Run neighborhood. The Hill School will pay the property taxes, and in fact, some of these properties were in arrears, so this is a good thing to get them back on the tax rolls. And importantly, the reason that we are renting out these particular properties is that the proceeds from the rentals will go right back into the community. We're going to use those funds to help fund ongoing Hobart's Run sponsored community initiatives I won't say like this conference necessarily, but other things that we're doing with various organizations in town.
There's also been a great rise of real estate activity. I say great, all things considered. I think anyone who's been working in Pottstown in the past 3 years can agree that there has been a notable increase in real estate sales. We actively collaborate with investors, like at this conference and many of you here, to promote solid real estate activity and homeownership in our neighborhood. Since January 2017, 64 properties have been purchased within Hobart's Run, and real estate sales have increased notably in Pottstown since July 2017, even before then. But if you look at the trends, that summer of 2017, there was a very clear uptick in the sales. We appreciate the collaboration involving PAID and local realtors. Some of you are here today, and everyone that has helped to make this move along.
Complementing that, Hobart's Run is going to be launching a homeownership incentive program, HIP for short, this spring. To begin with, Hobart's Run will provide $3,000 forgivable loans for qualified new homeowners who purchase a house in Hobart's Run. Keep an eye on our Facebook page for details.
And then a big part of our community outreach and engagement involves Safe, Clean, and Green, or as you see here, Clean and Green, Safe and Inclusive initiatives. So there's always something going on to address this critical aspect of what we do in Hobart's Run. A few examples: with funding from Hill in partnership with Pottstown's wonderful police department, we invested $100,000 to install some security cameras in town in addition to other residential cameras, so 11 cameras so far. Hill also is making a $200,000 donation to the borough toward police vehicles to help our officers do their vital work. We organize routine cleanups in the Hobart's Run neighborhood through block captains and the different quadrants that Hobart's Run is broken up into, and we distribute plants, energy-efficient light bulbs so neighbors can keep their porch lights on at night, which has been a proven measure to reduce crime. We also provide free of charge attractive trash cans for Hobart's Run residents and businesses upon request. We just put one out at Wolf Baldwin, one went out at Brookside, and then a bunch of residents have adopted them as well. And all of us say that we've seen a decline in litter, and they fill up every week. So that is taking off, and we're happy to provide a can for you to adopt a trash can.
We'll also be giving a trash can to Edgewood Cemetery, which is number 3 on our top 10 list of things that we are very involved with. Edgewood was abandoned by its caretakers, as many of you know. So a handful of volunteers have struggled to address this once dire eyesore. In the summer of 2018, Hobart's Run met with Andrew Monastra and became an active participant in efforts to restore respect to this final resting place. We had, through the Hill School, been contributing volunteer labor for years with different cleanups and so forth, but we ramped it up quite a bit. With Edgewood, we kicked off fundraising, Hobart's Run, with a $5,000 donation. We obtained a generous matching gift with help of the Hill School. We worked with Edgewood to raise contributions above and beyond the match, and we recruited more than 100 volunteers for a community-wide cleanup last fall. And I have to tell you, that cleanup was a lot of fun. It was just great. It was kind of like the atmosphere here at lunch and at this conference, just all kinds of different people coming together and raking and talking and getting to know each other.
Okay, next one. Supporting the Olivet Boys and Girls Club, Ricketts Center. Hobart's Run supports the center's endeavors to ensure Pottstown families can enjoy this safe space for wholesome youth activities and mentoring. In addition to sponsoring a holiday party and providing volunteers and donations toward other efforts, Hobart's Run will cover 20 paid memberships for neighborhood families who would like to join the center but are unable to pay. And we see that more with families with like 4 or 5 kids, where $15 a year doesn't sound a lot, but then all of a sudden you're having to cough up $100 at once, and it's just, we're around there. So we offered those scholarships. With a promised matching grant, Hobart's Run plans to offer a total of $3,000 plus for local children's summer swim club memberships, and that will be at North End Swimming Pool. One of the things I heard the most from being out in the community is that our kids don't have a place to swim over the summer, and so we're working with North End and are hoping to get that donation matched to provide scholarships for kids to be able to swim this summer. In recent days, we learned that Hobart's Run obtained a $100,000 Pennsylvania Department of Economic Development multimodal grant and a pledge of $37,000 from the Hill School to increase and improve street lighting, replace deteriorated sidewalks that will be scattered site, not all in one place, and raise awareness around borough-wide multimodal transportation efforts by integrating share the road markings in the 600 and 700 blocks of Beach Street near the Olivet Boys and Girls Club Ricketts Center. This project will brighten the area and make things safer for families and their kids.
All right, and finally, number 1 on our top 10 list of things that we are excited about and trying to encourage. No, go ahead.
I'm losing my voice. So engagement, community engagement. We mentioned inclusivity, but this is a more pointed way that we get out and interact with the residents. In Hobart's Run, our emphasis is on engagement with the people of Pottstown, whether it's talking with residents while picking up trash, holding a yard sale to benefit programming, hosting a coffee gathering with community leaders, offering meeting space to Pottstown nonprofits, or supporting with in-person time, not just dollars, events such as Pottstown Cares activities, the Children's Holiday Project, National Night Out. We're a co-sponsor of Fête en Blanc, an example of how this town can come together for an inspiring, true community event for all who live here. So mark your calendars. September 13th is our next one, the one this year, for this big no admission fee party in white, because everyone is invited. Who from here was at Fête en Blanc last time? A couple people. We got to change that. It was really fun. Yeah, we had a good time. I personally serve on a number of boards, including the Pottstown Land Bank, Parks and Rec, the Parks and Recreation, oh my goodness, Parks and Recreation, PRR. Why am I missing it? No, it's the foundation, it's not the, okay. The Olivet Boys and Girls Club Ricketts Center, the advisory board, not the Olivet main board, but the advisory board for Pottstown, the Chamber of Commerce, and the Pottstown Housing Coalition. Well, I don't serve on that board, but I did the first year, and we are a member. And then Kathy is the co-president of Steel River Playhouse Board. She serves on the Edgewood Cemetery Board and volunteers for Pottstown Go Forth. So we do these things because we love this town, we believe in it, and we know that together, through engagement and collaboration, Hobart's Run plays a role in Pottstown's revitalization.
We also strive to help get Pottstown on the map in a good way, not the negative headlines, but in a good way. This investors conference is just one example. And I've heard from a lot of you how important it is to do things like this, and we appreciate that feedback. We think it's very important too. We use our social media to showcase positive things that are happening throughout Pottstown. If in some small way, Hobart's Run can help to increase sustainable, quality investment in Pottstown through businesses that bring more jobs, and homeowners and responsible landlords who will support these businesses and care about this town, we also are helping to improve the tax base in Pottstown, and that helps everybody. Regional media are taking notice of the good stories we all have to tell in this room. In fact, the National Historic Preservation Trust in Washington, D.C. recently reached out to me because they had read one of these stories that was put out about what's going on in Pottstown. And they are pursuing a story about Pottstown for their national magazine, Preservation. So we're getting on the map in a good way, and we just have to continue that momentum. And I know with the energy we feel here, we can definitely do that.
So in short, we love telling Pottstown stories, and we love engaging with this town, and you are the #1 on our top 10 list. And I just want to say again, thank you for engaging with us in this way. Thank you for being present at this conference, for supporting not only what we do, but collectively what everyone here is doing in Pottstown, because it's going to take us all. So please share your stories, not only from today, but just about the good things you're doing with a friend, and tell us about your experience, and let's keep posting things on social media to keep the buzz going.
Yeah. And my contact information is, along with Twyla's and Stephanie's, on the back of one of the sheets with information in your packet. Feel free, and I mentioned this morning at the women's panel, if you're opening a business or you're having an event that pertains to Pottstown and is going to strengthen Pottstown, let me know. And I'm just one of the many Facebook people out there doing things, but I'm certainly happy to do my part in conveying that information and spreading it around.